Good morning, it's June 25th, 2025, and it's time for my second set of devotionals. Won't you join me?
And celebrate recovery, healing from hurts, habits, and hang-ups.
Day 176, Pumpkin Vines. I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. John 15:5. A few years ago, I took a portion of my small backyard and planted pumpkins. The kids helped me place the seeds, and they were excited as we watched them grow and grow and grow. What I hadn't realized is that pumpkins grow on vines, and vines spread. Pretty soon, our whole backyard was covered in pumpkin vines. I worked hard to keep the vines under control by pruning them. I was amazed to see how fast the vines shriveled up and died once I had separated them from their source. Without water and nutrients, they had no life force. The vines died, and any pumpkins attached to them stopped growing. The same thing happens to us when we are separated from our life force, Jesus. Without Him, our spiritual life, our recovery, will shrivel up and die. We must stay connected to Him if we are to see victory and freedom from our hurts, hang-ups, and habits. So how do we stay connected? We do that by spending time in fellowship with God, reading and meditating on His Word, the Bible, and by allowing Him to use us to bless others. Prayer. Father, your word says that you are the vine. Help me to stay connected to you, for I know that that is the only way that I can grow strong. In Jesus' name, amen.
And in my quiet time devotional,
Day 176, God's Amazing Mercy. So it is God who decides to show mercy. We can neither choose it nor work for it. Romans 9:16. We will never understand some things this side of eternity. Why do children suffer? Why are whole cities wiped out in natural disasters? Why does a sovereign God allow calamity? Romans 9 presents us with similarly unsettling questions while revealing God's sovereignty. Right after Paul comforted the church in Rome by assuring them that nothing would separate them from God's love, Romans 8:38, he here began to discuss issues of God's sovereign choice regarding to whom He will show mercy. That sure doesn't seem fair, we think. We hear of God hardening hearts and ask, as Paul did here, why does God blame people for not responding? Haven't they simply done what He makes them do? Romans 9:19. If we're honest, we will never be comfortable with the thought that God seems to control people like pawns on a chessboard. In reality, however, we must look at all that we know about God. For instance, we know that God is just, Romans 9:14. He does not want anyone to perish, 2 Peter 3:9. He is love, 1 John 4:8. In addition, we should be thankful that God decided to show mercy at all. In fact, He showed us so much mercy that He sent His Son to die for us, John 3:16. We mere humans will never plumb the depths of God's justice or mercy. Instead of thinking God is unfair, we should instead rejoice at the incredible lengths He went to in order to show mercy to us. How can you thank God today for the great mercy He shows you? It's true, it is so hard to wrap your mind around God's amazing mercy. But I'm not questioning it. I'm grateful for it. And I will do everything in my power to stay connected to the life source so I can grow like those pumpkin vines and bear much fruit. I hope you have a blessed day.